I created another universe and founded paradise.
Could it be true?
For I,
What
Fischl,
I've heard.
and the Prinzessin de Ver...
Shu-in now hiring. Urgently, look, Traveler, an urgent hiring notice, and they're paying top more, too! Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that. You're right, it is strange. Do you think something happened to Yenshou? Cause that guy barely lets anyone ever set foot in his kitchen. Doesn't exactly seem like the type to hire help. The notice says interested parties should go upstairs and talk to the innkeeper Huayan. Should we go and see what's up? Yeah, and we can ask...
Boss, there's really no need for this. It's...
Perhaps not, but continuing to work will only hinder your recovery. You need to rest for a few days.
Huayan! Yanxiao!
Oh? Traveler and Paimon! What brings you to this neck of the woods?
And we decided to come check out, check up on Yanxiao.
I knew we shouldn't have posted that notice. It's
How kind of you. My thanks to you both. And thanks on Yanxiao's behalf, too. There's nothing to...
Oh, all right. Well, basically, we had a lot of guests pouring in for the lantern ride. Things got busy. Well, you know what they say. Play with fire.
Now. I don't want you pushing yourself.
But the lantern ride's only just finished. And we're still getting tons of plus...
Listen to you. But he's not wrong.
I don't mean to boast, but any chef of my caliber probably has their own restaurant to look after.
Looks like we might have to increase the pay we're offering even further.
Do we know anyone that's a good chef and has the... Oh, of course, you!
Oh, right. Yes. Now I think about it, I do recall hearing good things about your cooking ability. I suppose I'd added you to my mental list of people who can hold their own in a combat situation, but forgot you can cook.
Why are you even keeping a...
Maybe a story for another time. More importantly, I'm sure...
Well...
What do you think, Traveler? Should we do it?
I did say that, didn't I?
I should warn you that
Oh.
I believe there's some spare kitchen.
Of course. Whew. All done. Come, take a look. This was made with your measure. It's nothing. A little handicraft and elbow grease goes a long way.
You really went to all the trouble of building a new stovetop? What was wrong with the...
No, it's nothing like that. As Boss always says, hire who you trust and trust who you hire. I just thought the original setup might be a little, anyway, as I was saying, cooking for guests is different from having the right equipment is a big part. Sometimes cooking is all about being well prepared. That's how you...
Okay, and what about precision?
Precision all comes down to using your eyes. Where to slice into a particular cut of meat, how much oil. When you cook for yourself, you can always add salt if it's too bland or add water if it's too salty. You can tweak the taste as you go, but in a restaurant, there's...
Worst case scenario, Paimon can deal with any subpar dishes by making sure they get...
The final thing you have to focus on is you have to cater to their own dietary... Don't worry. And of course, I'll be around to help you over the next... There's no time to lose, so let's get started. I imagine you probably have a good handle on the cooking side of things already.
Oh, Paimon's memory... Which ticket are we on again? Table 1 was onions, but no chilies. Table 2 was chilies. Was Paimon just sleep floating? We didn't even get a break in the middle.
No, but this is peak season. You both did a mighty fine job for your first times. Luckily, all our customers were familiar faces this time around, so we didn't get any strange requests.
No strange request? Someone asked for almond tofu drizzled in soy sauce. Even Paimon has never tried that.
It's a wide world out there. People have all kinds of different tastes. Also, the thing about requests is that they're usually very specific. So as long as you do what they asked, you're unlikely to have any issues. What's really tricky is when guests give you free rein to do anything you want.
Excuse me. Are you... What should we do? It doesn't look like anyone's here. If only we'd gotten here a bit sooner.
It's all right. If we start building a campfire now, we'll be eating before too long.
Right. Besides, if anyone's to blame, it's Linny. So busy being a greedy culture vulture that he lost track of...
Linny, Lynette, Fremine, it is you!
Paimon? So, is the Traveler here?
Traveler, Paimon! What a nice surprise!
Paimon was gonna say the same thing! We're just lending a helping hand at the end. Anyway, so that's how we ended up here. But what about you guys?
No, quite the opposite, actually. We're in Liyue on vacation, and while...
Father said we deserve some rest after everything that happened recently. Otherwise, it could jeopardize our next mission.
It's not every day we get this kind of opportunity. Lenny thought it might be fun to spend some time in Liyue, especially since it's Lantern Rite season.
We could hardly pass up the opportunity to watch a Liyue-style magic show. Although, I think they call it conjuring here.
In our time here, we've seen conjuring tricks incorporated into a Liyue opera show, and even a wushu dance. It was amazing.
So, we decided to stay here for a few more days to see what other forms of inspiration this land might have in store for us. We visited Granny Roshin in Chingsa village not long ago.
In the end, though, we lost track of time. We haven't even...
And speaking of eating, as you know, seafood is... We simply had to try some local seafood after coming all this way. That's another reason...
Oh, need any recommendations?
That fish one with the misleading name. Sounds bland, but it's drowning in hot chilies.
Oh, you mean blackback perch soup? You're right. The name
It looked and smelled so appetizing that Lynette took a huge mouthful, blissfully unaware that she was about to set her mouth on fire. She could barely speak for the rest of the day after that.
Luckily, that wasn't a huge adjustment for her.
What? Aren't you guys hungry too?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready to eat. Good question. I doubt we'll be able to decipher the menu, so why don't you recommend something? You should be pretty familiar with our tastes.
One more thing. Please, if you have a heart, don't make it spicy.
Fontaine, huh? No wonder they can't handle too much spice. Still, if we make the food too bland, they might as well be eating back home. There's this crab and shrimp stir-fry I know that could work. It's quite heavily seasoned, but it's a lot milder than it looks.
Ooh, that's...
Well, this is where it gets interesting. They call it the Palace Jewels. The crab roe is supposed to look like pearl. Here's the recipe. When you're ready.